a student, Mr. Chilcher. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
And it's good to be here.
Happy to have you around as well. Next to her as well, I do have Sheila Abwino, who's a student. Sheila, how are you doing?
Quite good, thank you.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm really delighted to be here. Yeah.
Happy to have you around.
Yes, thank you.
All right, next to Sheila then, we do have, wow, I said I'll not forget his name, is ALFRED, who's a student as well. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. I'm also happy to be here.
Yes.
And share the ideas we have to students.
We have 2 hours to talk about that, and we're going to get into that shortly as well. On my left as well, today our studio is quite full this morning. I want to start by introducing Celine Sarah, who's a student as well. Celine, how are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to a very candid conversation.
It's gonna get better. All right. On the far left as well, it is ALFRED AMOLLO, who is the president of HUSA. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Well is a good word. And then finally, we do have Peter Amani, who's a student as well. Mr. Amani, Peter, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, and I'm thrilled to be here this morning. I hope for a fine and candid conversation.
Fantastic. All right, let's start on a lighter note. Today is on the 17th of May. It's when Stella was getting picked from the airport and came back with a kid. Mr. Money,
yes,
what is the one rule to supporting a lady education-wise that you're dating or you're seeing? Because are you in a relationship?
Not really.
You're not?
Not
Do you have a rule about supporting a lady education-wise? There's no rule.
There's no rule, yes.
There is a rule, I like to think.
There's no rule.
Yeah.
It depends with where you are.
Okay.
Because Freshly Mamburi was a gentleman like me. And we have so much of such gentlemen across the country. And such is a sensitive discussion that I might not want to get into it.
I want to jump from this side and go all the way to Mr. ALFRED. Is there a rule to supporting a lady when it comes to education if you're in a relationship? You guys are not married yet, but...
To my point of view,
we
need to divide the roles we normally do.
Yeah.
There's a role for the parent and there's a role for the boyfriend. So you cannot act the role of the parent and you are the boyfriend.
Mambo ya wazazi tuachie wazazi. Mambo ya relationship tuachie walio katika hiyo relationship.
The boyfriend work is the service fee.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you take her out, nice places, but you cannot play the role of the parent.
Education wachana naye.
No,
that's
the
it.
role of the
Can I get the view of Sheila in this conversation? If you were dating a man who's got the ability to support you education-wise, should he not?
Really, for me, I won't go for the man to support me.
Utakata?
I really want my parents to support me because really things do change. I think with time, I can even forget about the man. And then, and then
forget about this girl supporting you.
Yes, and then there come a point that you get into guilt.
Yeah.
It's going to weigh you down. Such things, I really don't want such things to happen. If it's my education, let it be my parents, let it be my relatives. Yes, not my man.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let me pick the final sentiments then from one lady as well this morning, Celine. As you know, if you allow him to support you education-wise, ushaamua ni yeye. Sasa mbona tena ukatae juu vitu tapadilika huko mbele?
Okay, personally, I feel, why should he support my education?
He wants to.
No, at the end of the day, it will turn tables because he'll start feeling he did a lot.
Education is a lot. Education is a lot.
Exactly.
It empowers you as a human being.
That's why let the parent do it, so that when it comes to paying back, I'll pay my mom or my dad at the rate that I can.
Oof, I will tell you that. Yeah, sentiments already flying around in the studio. Let's then get into the conversation this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a good thing that the majority of our panel here, actually all of them, are students. Now, let's go back to the biggest ratification in education funding or varsity funding and TVET funding in the country as we do know of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it aware to you that has officially changed now in the way that university education is going to be funded starting immediately from 2 weeks ago when the president made that particular announcement. I want to start like this then. You're going to be divided on a need basis. And there are 3 categories in that. And they've said there's going to be a scientific formula that already HELP has in place for funding university education. I want to start with you, Chair. That essentially means universities are not going to get loans and grants. It is only you, the students, who are going to get that money, but on a need basis. Let's start from there.
Personally, I want to believe that the whole idea is fairly good and is fairly bad, depending on where you stand on.
Yes.
Looking at the facts on the ground, the fact that some private universities are not going to receive funding is a total problem. But the fact that the university funding is going to be increased is also an advantage that we are not going to ignore.
Yes.
But as well, we have to look at other factors that comes around, because looking on the ground, we see that some students are really able to facilitate themselves for their education.
Yes.
But while others are really struggling, I'm sure you have heard about Koinama. And there are a lot of comrades out there who are enamoring,
yes,
or who are going down on their,
yes,
because they are missing meals, right?
Yes.
So considering that, there are a lot of issues that we are looking at here, and there are a lot of factors as far as we want to, look at the whole matter in the negative perspective again.
Yes.
It has its advantages,
yes,
and it is going to, favor those who are very needy. And unless there is going to be a very clear path on how we are going to look at this matter, I believe this is a matter that is going to, take some time to deliver, because many students really are suffering out there, and
yes,
we have to, how are we going to identify the most needy students? That is what we want to know.
Yes.
And how are we going to allocate them the best possible service? Look at the housing. A lot of comrades out there are really struggling. You find someone who is studying, say, in University of Nairobi, Parklands Law School, is living in Githurai. You can imagine the fare every morning coming and going there. It's a struggle. So this is something that we are not going to ignore.
Pretty much. Churchill, I'll be coming back to you on this particular subject.
Yes.
And I want to pick quick sentiments from both of you, then I go to this side as well. Could you hand the mic to Sheila? Sheila, listen, like what Churchill is saying, it's not essentially just a bad model, because in this now, university education funding has been increased to 84.6 billion, the highest we've seen it ever. But then, listen, according to Ruto, about 45,000 vulnerable students will be fully funded by the government. And listen, that is 29% of the new students who will join university in the 2023-2024 academic year. So essentially, what he's saying, look, if you fall in the category for most vulnerable, I'm going to give you a grant from the government that's going to cover almost 51% of your fee, and 49% is going to come from a loan. That's when you're then open to help. Are you vulnerable, able, or less vulnerable? Let's start from there.
Thank you so much. Am I vulnerable?
Yes.
Less
vulnerable or able?
Able.
Yes.
Okay, for me personally, I'd say I'm vulnerable. Yes. Okay,
Sheila, let's make this personal as much as we can, because then we do not know the formula that HELP normally uses to give out loans or to qualify you for a loan. What makes you think that you are vulnerable? Let me start like this. Did you go to a private school in your primary school studies before graduating to university?
No,
Yes.
I went to a primary public school.
Yes.
Yes, and then I went to a primary high school.
Yes.
Yes. So most of my life, okay, let me just speak for my fellows out there. Okay, I don't know what the government is considering vulnerable, but for me, if at all they are talking about those who cannot afford their education, their tertiary education, I think most of us will fall into that bracket from our village or wherever we come from. And basically, I don't really think the government really knew. Because for me, when I came to the school, I don't think the government really knew what I really needed. I came to the university with my parents, you get?
Yes.
They really didn't know what I was going through. And I really applied for that help. No one knew that I needed this. No one knows that I need I need this particular amount of money for my food every day. No one knows, not even the government. So basically, I don't know what the criteria they are going to use. And for me, if they are saying that the criteria has been used by the help, I think that's not the way to go, because really, what I've experienced with the help and whatever, it's not equality.
We're gonna come there, because help is also another conversation that we're gonna get into. I want you to hand the mic to Mr. ALFRED. Let me ask you a question. That if you went to a private primary school, you were roughly paying around 100,000 shillings in your financial academic year. There is no way you can turn back around. Once you get that A, that B plus, that B, that essentially takes you to university, or that C plus, turn around and then ask the president or the government, that's what he said, now you gotta pay my fee to a tune of over 95%. He says, that's not fair. Mr. ALFRED, what's your way in on that?
You see, like, if maybe I came from, let's say, Peponi school.
Yes.
And I used to pay like
1.6
million per year.
Yes.
And I come to undergraduate.
And then you go to the University of Nairobi.
In the University of Nairobi, or TVET. You see, like, most of the A students, they come from these big schools, and they used to.
Would you say that though?
Yeah.
But it's
a majority.
Would you say that though?
Yeah. A majority. A majority.
Yeah? A majority.
Majority.
Wow.
Majority.
If we look at the results in the 2023 KCFE exams, quite spread.
Majority come from, because they have resources and everything that can facilitate their success.
Yes.
So,
if that argument comes in.
Yeah, if you see, like, when they get to the university, they feel, for example, let's say for medicine, is 600 and around 33,000 in University of Nairobi, which vary from university to university. So you see they are able and they can pay. So if they are able, why don't they pay? And
what if I was supported to go to a private school?
If you if you are supported to go to there is so many ways they used to weigh.
Yes.
If you are viable for your need. For example, they take the disposable income of your parents.
Yes.
Let's say you earn, let's say 30,000, and you have 3 dependents. So if you divide by 3, you get 10,000. That is an extremely needy parent, and they deserve to be given between 49 to 53%.
Yes.
And also they collect data from the chief. You know, the form you have, once you apply, you have to pass through your pastor, your chief.
Yes.
And also they collect data from KRA and SSF.
Yes.
They can harmonize and see
where you are exactly in terms of your economic ability.
Yeah, and the NIE has been used for years and years, and it has been upgraded.
But do you know who doesn't agree with that model? It is the comrades that you seated with here, because they've gone through problems when it comes to getting, number one, evaluated for the application of help, and also, by the way, the bursaries that we're talking about in the county government. So, Mr. ALFRED, I'll be coming back to you, because then you're going to fight with Sheila shortly after this, because she's saying, what I've seen in help, we're going to come back to you on that. Let me cross over this side then, so that we see exactly what it is that we have as well. Is it now a crime to go to a private school? Because then indeed, if that is the criteria that they're going to start using then to give you that funding for university education, then the advice that you should be giving your next of kin is, mtoto akipita aende private university, tafadhali msipeleke yeye hapo, because the government ain't going to give you that money. Is that what we're saying now with this new funding model?
Okay, personally, I feel.
Oh, by the way, I should start. Are you vulnerable, less vulnerable, or needy? Let's start from there.
I'm vulnerable.
Everybody says they're vulnerable. Is this
Yes.
already a failure to the proposal by the president of becoming two children? We're going to talk about that. Could you continue on that then?
Personally,
And talk as a vulnerable comrade. Yes.
I feel if a parent is able to take their child to a private primary school
Yes.
from kindergarten, that is an able parent.
Would you say so?
Yes, I will say so because there are so many families that take a look at Kayole, Huruma.
Yes.
Those kids walk to a public school. They literally walk to a public school. So if a parent is able to take their kid to a private school
Yes.
and afford bus fare, what will deny them the money or the chance to be able to pay for a private institution in the university?
Celine, somebody want to ask you, if I can struggle enough to provide that education, why would you stop me? And is it okay for me to continue struggling when the government can actually jump in and alleviate some of that struggling?
But there are people who are struggling more. If you feel, why should you struggle and there's a public school? Why?
Because is it not?
Does it mean
Yes.
these kids who are going to public schools
Yes.
are less than those going to private?
Is it not your right to choose whatever school that you gotta choose in this country?
Exactly, you have chosen according to your ability, nothing more. I am not able to take my kid to a private school.
Yes.
I'll take them to a public school. Struggle from there.
Mr. Mani, you take the mic, because then it's getting a bit heated right here. First, answer that question. Are you needy, vulnerable, or able in AMOLLO?
Mr. Elijah, I
Yes.
think unless the government will use this platform
Yes.
as a way of judging how to give the bursary funding,
Yes.
then I will say I'm vulnerable. But
Who says they are not watching? They are watching, yes.
they are watching,
Yes.
But do you want to tell me that they will use this platform to judge? Will you bring everyone here to declare that they are vulnerable?
Is it,
vulnerable?
Mr. Mani, I mean, we gotta think that this is part of the process in them knowing exactly what is going on. Because effective this financial year, you're gonna see a lot of comrades trying to struggle.
You know why I've taken that discussion to that direction?
Yes.
Is one,
Yes.
you are tall depending on who is standing close to you.
That's it.
So you are vulnerable depending on who is judging you, and you are less vulnerable or able,
Yes.
depending on who is judging.
What the
So
government-
what the government?
Yes.
So what is the structures which are there by the government to judge and know we are less vulnerable,
Yes.
vulnerable, or able?
Mr. Mani, they've already said that that particular structure is already been established by one body that has been giving you money, HELP. That they have that structure. Are you going to sit there and tell me that your experience with HELP has been quite fluid, that you got no complaint whatsoever?
You know why I question the structures is one.
Yes.
I have been a beneficiary of HELP
Yes.
for my first year and second year. But I want to tell you that it didn't matter whether you are vulnerable or not. You are assessed and given that bursary depending on the recommendations you got.
That's it.
So that tells you if I have access to recommendations,
Yes.
and somebody is able to write something that conforms
Yes.
to what the government is expecting to be
Yes.
vulnerable, then I will be vulnerable. That is why I told you we will be cutting our codes according to our sizes.
That's it.
It will depend on who is judging me.
Yes.
It will depend on who knows me. So what I'm telling the nation right now is, one, this new model, it might sound good. It might sound good, but it might also be bad, depending on who is just at the top and who is the decision maker and which criteria will be used. Because the government...
They're calling it a scientific criteria, Mr. Mani.
No, I know
That's what
the
he said.
president is a
Yeah.
scientist. The
Yeah.
president is a scientist. But you will agree with me that not all scientific formulas can be proven.
Can you say that?
Beyond reasonable doubt.
Can you say that, comrade? That no scientific,
Yes.
not all scientific
Yes.
formulas can be proven. Yeah, are you going to
Not
declare
all.
here that well,
Not
some
all.
of them?
Not all scientific formulas
Yeah.
or understandings
Yes.
can be proven beyond reasonable doubt.
Pretty much. Mr. Mani, I want you to hold your thought there because then we're creating basis for this conversation. Could you hand that microphone to one? Alfred AMOLLO, I know where he stands on this, but today I'm going to ask you a different question on this particular matter, all right? If indeed, Ms. AMOLLO, you're saying, no, that formula is wrong. I've had conversations with you on this particular one. You're saying, well, why do you want to change it? Give universities money. Let them decide what to do with it. The way it has been, what is the magic bullet for your proposal to this model or to the government?
Thank you very much, Simba. Actually, absolutely, what the government is proposing
Yes.
on university funding
Yes.
is absolutely wrong. And I completely disagree. Because look at our universities currently, most of the public ones.
Yes.
A good example is Egerton. They are getting funding from the government and they are still suffering. So what if the government will do away with that funding?
Actually, they've done away with it. They've done away with it.
Egerton is dead.
Effective immediately, they announced that.
And by soon we'll be attending the burial of Egerton. We'll be going there to bury Egerton. Because currently,
Yes.
they are facing challenges. They can't even pay their workers. And now the government is telling us that they are going to stop funding and they will be giving money directly to an individual, that is a student. How will that help Egerton? Then come back to the issue of now help. Or actually I'm vulnerable. Very vulnerable.
That's it. Now, we do agree then on this formula then, on that basis, that everybody then starts from vulnerable downwards, isn't it? Is that a failure already to that particular formula? Is that what you're saying then,
Yes,
Alfred?
I'm very vulnerable. Look at me. Very suffering. So if the government come out...
Alfred, somebody might say, well, you decided to appear like that so that you could fit the criteria.
No. I'm very suffering. And if the government will now chip in to use the criteria which they are saying that now they will consider vulnerable, less vulnerable,
Yes.
and maybe able, I don't know where.
Yes.
Because look at the criteria which they want to use. They want to use the help system to identify the most needy. And if you check, if you ask all my colleagues here,
Yes.
most of us, we have not received help and we applied for it. So that means even if we will apply...
Yes, Alfred,
to be
close.
Okay,
Yes.
even if we'll apply to be considered as the vulnerable because we are needy,
Yes.
still it will delay. And the moment the money will delay on my side, that means I won't be able to continue with my education. I'll be at home. Again, look at it in this way. In our universities, if you have not cleared your fee, you won't even sit for your exams. Now how will it be if the government delay on the other side? Even the bursary back at my constituencies.
Yes.
Up to now, I think I applied it last year. Up to now, I haven't received anything. And I'm sure it is 3,000, which is waiting for me there. So, yes. So I think we are not on the right path.
That's it.
Yes.
Pretty much. Guess what? They're right here. The comrades and all the Wananchi in the building. Now, and when we say that, there's just a lot of issues around this particular model that we're going to look into. But then I'll be giving them the numbers once we come back. There are particular percentages because all of them are saying, well, they're quite vulnerable. In fact, they don't want to say they're needy. They're saying, well, I'm very, very vulnerable. So indeed, if that formula then was going to get worked, then it should have started from vulnerable and needy. There is not able. Majority of the comrades that we have in the studio today have said, well, we are not able. The word Queen Ama has been used because that's part of the conversations we're going to have this morning. This model of university education, has it figured it fully? Is giving the comrade money enough? Is that money enough to begin with? And has the government figured out the affairs of the university students in this country? be part of the conversation. Much more coming, including their views on how the president is fighting corruption. Some PSs are already home. Some CEOs have already gone home, something that we've not seen in a previous government. What is their view on the way that the president is also running the current government? Once we come back right here on Lookuptv across all your social media platforms, I am at Kiage Simba. Good morning.
Hi and welcome to Diaspora Fusion. Today we are at SARUNI Expo Center and we are about to take on the Tourism Expo.
My name is Bernard Itabete.
My name is Isabella.
My name is Anne Rabar.
My name is Joshua Awili and I'm in charge of sales for Salt Lake and Taita Hills, Safari Lodges.
Corporate sales manager at Sarugo Hotels.
I am a guest relations at Reef Hotel, Mombasa.
Yeah, I work for an Egyptian. Yeah, I'm the marketing manager.
Here you get all players in the industry, from hotels to lodges to even airlines. You name it, we got it.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dagmar learns we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dagmar loans. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dagmar loans. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand a business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United Circle. Tuungane pamoja.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt. It's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Hi and welcome to Tujenge Home. Your number one show when it comes to all things architecture, real estate, property development, interior design. You get it right here on Tujenge Home.
When the food is ready.
You want to serve them?
Dinner is served.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's all about trying out fresh meals. As you know, your health comes first. Experience a tasty and sweet aroma in your kitchen today. It's not just about cooking, but also having fun, interesting conversations, keeping it professional, and not forgetting refreshing moments.
Oh, let me tell you, mine is gonna be
The Cook-Off with Alex Karani, Saturdays at 6 p.m.
All right, welcome back to the morning drip. Today we are getting full in the studio. In case you're just joining us, we do have the Bunge, la Wananchi in the studio. And in one special move, we still have got comrades in the studio today. I mean, there's just a lot that we're going to talk about. And let me introduce the other gentlemen who've joined us in this conversation. One has been blamed for joining the government in his dress this morning. I want to introduce Jesse SARUNI, President KUSO, to the conversation. Was it intentional, the yellow tie?
Well, I see my friend, Brother Mani, wearing red, which is the color of the former government. Was it intentional?
Yeah, Jesse, welcome to the conversation, sir. Happy to have you around as well. I do also have Adero Regan, who's a student as well. Adero, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me. There's a question we've been asking this morning as well that you gotta answer. In the model of university funding, just before we look at the numbers this morning, are you, number one, vulnerable, less vulnerable, or needy? Vulnerable. Yes. Fantastic. We're just going to leave it there because we're coming back then with the conversation. Now, comrades, let me show you what the numbers are in this particular model, because now you get a clear picture of where we are. Now, under vulnerable students, the government will fully fund the vulnerable students who comprise 29% of students who will be joining university. That's around 45,000 and 42,000 are going to TVET. Good. Let's get the numbers then. Less vulnerable students from less vulnerable backgrounds will receive government scholarships of up to, wait for it, 53%. And loans from the government of up to 40%. That, because all of you are saying you guys are vulnerable, it means you'll get up to 93%. Your families only have to look for 7%. Put that in mind. All right, let's continue then. Able students from able backgrounds will be funded through a government scholarship of up to a maximum of 38%, all right, of the cost of the program, and 55% in the form of loans. Their households would also pay 7% in this model. Now, this is where the kicker is. Students in private universities would only qualify for loans, but not scholarships whatsoever. So let me start with you, Jesse. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Hii ni kusema watu wasiende private university kama unataka kupata funding.
In the contrary, you see what this does.
Yes.
It gives people an opportunity to make a decision. It gives you an opportunity to choose.
The decision based on which university you're going sometimes is on the quality of the courses offered, or sometimes the availability of the courses in these private universities.
Yes.
Talk from that point. Because AMOLLO is going to start fighting you.
Well, I can speak from that point, but the same applies to high schools and primary schools. You have a choice to take your child to public school or a private school. We have people who take their kids to private international schools. We have seen on social media the school fees ranging up to 1 point something million shillings.
Yes.
So this is a matter of choice. What do you want?
But you can't, but Churchill, jump in, help me. Just hand over the mic to Churchill this morning as well. Churchill, it's not just a choice based on your ability to pay. Sometimes it's the availability of the courses. Is that not?
And I want.
Is that not? Yeah, you're going to come in shortly.
And I want to disagree with you a little bit there, because if a course misses at the University of Nairobi, there are other public universities you can check around. And again, look at this whole idea from this perspective. Look at USIU, for example. It is an international university which most of us can't afford. The issue of funding came as a result of funding private universities came as a result of a partnership with the government that they were going to facilitate them with majorly infrastructural development, and they were going to be supported with, the government was going to fund them, give them infrastructure, and they were going to give the education. But now, it has led to the, our public universities' education quality has gone down. Now that people know that I can go to a private university and enjoy myself, because at the end of the day, they are going to offer quality education. The education of our public universities has gone absolutely down. That is why you saw...
Would you agree with Chilcher that indeed the level of education in public universities...
Yeah, you saw the University
you guys are in public universities, aren't you? No. Not all of us are in public universities. Alfred,
we are talking.
Alfred, are you in a private university?
Yes, I'm in a private university.
And you're really vulnerable.
Yes. I'm really vulnerable, Simba. Because first I want to disagree with my friend, Saruni. He's saying that there are those students who are going to private schools, and they're paying fee ranging up to 1.something million Kenya shillings. I want to tell him that, maybe at a time you might be in a private school and your fee is being paid by a sponsor. We have Equity, can take you there, and they will pay for your fee. That doesn't mean that now you are able. So I think on that, he was wrong.
Does that mean then, Fred, does that mean that indeed then, now Alfred, by the way, as from the next financial year at After Public University, transfer all his costs for public university, is going to qualify for that funding, because him, sitting right there in a private university, as a very, very vulnerable, he actually didn't want to say he's needy, he said I'm very vulnerable. He introduced another adjective to that particular one, very vulnerable, not needy, that he has to now transfer his courses to a public university for him to continue to get funding.
My friend lack information.
What's that? Alfred, you lack information.
Let me explain. Let me explain. Like when you are applying, you will put supportive document, as they said. So you will say, I was being supported by so and so, and you can prove even from the bank accounts you are supported, which means you are needy. The same criteria. It is the same criteria.
Hold on. But then there's a formula here that already takes him out.
But
I mean, look at it.
In that formula,
you only qualify for a loan.
In that formula, that's why I said they consider all the things. And they moved to not to support the private university was to protect the public, because you see, the capacity of the public university is around 200,000 students. And the number we produce are almost 80%, around 173,000. So you see, and the way the COOPs normally place students, there's a bit of some skewness on how they normally favor more private university. If you see the statistics.
We'll become to talk about that.
You see, so that's why they decided, statistically, we have like 39 public university, around 37 private, and we have around other 30 which have a letter of interim authority. So if you see, we distribute the students fairly, that 173,000, you will see like, let's say they take half. You'll see the public will get around 80,000. And their capacity is 200,000. And I can give you one example. My course when I was in first year, it used to record around, the capacity of my course is 40 students. But you see,
there must be a very special course. Can we know which course you're taking?
actually it is only one offered in Eastern and Central Africa.
Do we say? Do we not say? Boy. Okay.
So
yes.
let me finish.
Mr. Mani, I want you to jump in. Yeah?
Let me finish.
Yeah.
So, like as year went by,
yes,
the competition from the private university, and I think those corruption in the KUSO.
Yes.
Now we record an admission of 20 students in a year. So you see, if the same trends goes, you'll find there's a time we won't record any or admit any student. So it is a move to protect the private university, which is a private, it is a public entity.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be coming back to you on that.
And also,
Mr. Mani, just let me throw in Mr. Mani now, because I'll be picking your sentiment as well. Whatever I'm asking Fred, whatever Fred is running away from, fine, he's saying good, Alfred might lack information, because when you're applying, you really have to go in with supportive documents and recommendations that are going to fit that scientific formula that the president was talking about. But then this formula, it's right here, that you see, Alfred is already saying, I'm in a private university. He's already afraid. As for the next financial year, the only thing he's going to get is a loan. Is a loan. And he's, well, it's very needy now. He's actually introduced, he's gone down a level. Now he's saying here, students in private universities will qualify for loans, but not scholarships. So I asked Fred here, so should he transfer to a public university? If indeed he's going to start qualifying then for this 53%.
I think Simba, whatever we are discussing here is some of us are taking it out of context.
Yes.
Because one, some of us might not know what the parents are going through to put them where they are.
Are you sure? You guys are like to think, no, hold on.
Because
I like to think you guys are old enough or mature enough to know whatever it is that your parents are going through to actually support you to go to school. Manny, do not get it wrong.
Let me justify.
Do not get it wrong.
Let me justify.
How is it? Are you going to justify that?
Because, you know, we are complaining that the funding should go beyond
what it is.
Public universities.
Yes.
And the government has declared its stand that it will only do scholarships for the students in public universities. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Once the government established a public institution, it had the best interest for the country and its residents to have the best quality of education or whatever service is being offered in the institution.
You would like to think so. You would like to think so, isn't it?
Of course, I'm thinking so. I am thinking even now. So what I'm saying is, now the government did so. Then there was a private entity which came along and said, I want to offer an alternative. Then why do we want the government, after building an institution, to go beyond its institutions and fund private institutions? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Do you agree? Do we all agree that that's the reasoning that we should go with?
It doesn't make sense.
I'll be coming with you, Jesse. But just let me pick the sentiments of Celine River. I'll be coming to you, Adero, right now. Do you agree that it doesn't make sense for the
Totally, it doesn't.
Come on, guys.
It was an alternative which you chose.
Do you think Alfred is gonna agree with you right there?
Alfred went to a private university at his own cost. If he knew he was very vulnerable, he would have chosen a public university. If the university he chose didn't have his cost, there was another alternative.
Are we saying that the public universities that I want you to hold on hand over the microphone to Adero. Are we saying that the public universities that we have in this country are the best? Let's say that. Because then when it comes to quality of education, it is your right to look for it where you so wish. We do agree, like, is you right? Are we saying that they're the best that we have around?
Nope, Senior. What I want to say is that, you know, different university is based on, they are based in different, in different fields. For example, I'm a student at Kenyatta University. I know KU produces the best teachers.
Are you a teacher?
Eh?
Are you training for?
I'm not a teacher. That's general.
Are you training to be a teacher?
I'm a medical. Listen. That's what I'm trying to bring on board. I'm a medical student. But despite that, I'm a medical student.
Yes.
KU produces the best teachers. If you come to UN, they produce the best lawyers and doctors. KU produces the best researchers. If you go to MKU, which is a private entity, there is a field, JKUAT produces the best engineers. The MKU, they produce the media,
yes.
the best in media.
Yes.
So for example,
yes.
I want the best university which produces the best in media. My alternative will be MKU, but now it's a private entity. You see?
Yes.
Listen.
I want to clear in a minute because I want him to weigh in on this issue as well.
Yes.
Yes. Can you clear your thought on that?
What I'm trying to say.
Yes.
There's what is called objective. At long last, we have one goal. And these students who are learning the private universities are also Kenyans and they are also citizens. They should be denied the chance. They should be treated equally as the same students in the public university.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's what I was saying because majority. Now, I know you're shaking your hand, shit like that. Listen, but just before I jump over to Jesse, aren't these universities accredited by the government? Even the private universities, are we going to pretend that they're not accredited, that the government doesn't actually go there, the Ministry of Education and the higher education board in this country, that the ones who hand out the certification of these universities, isn't it? That means that any other person, Jesse, can actually apply to these universities. Then why are we saying, now if you go to a private universities, which we've accredited for you to go there, should you feel so, we're not going to give you that money. We're just going to give you a loan that you have to pay back.
Well, Simba, that is an interesting question. And I want us to understand the genesis of all this. And if you look at when the time that we began taking public-sponsored students to private universities, yes. It is something that happened in the recent past. And the reason why it happened was to escape from the inefficiencies in the public universities. Now, what the government wants to do, the government wants to cure the inefficiencies in the public universities, and it wants to do that as it takes the students to these universities. Now, if you look at the sector of health, if you look at the health sector, we have public hospitals, we have private hospitals. Absolutely. Does the government sponsor private hospitals? Yes, it does. And the same thing is what we are saying, that the people who want to go to private universities will get a loan. They are not being left alone. They will have access to government facilitated loans.
No, I think Simba, we are taking this one to greater heights. We are taking it to greater heights, which are not even symptomatic. Yes. You see, when you establish, of course, we have the judiciary.
Because if you're going to talk about that, then example is right there. And he's telling you this model doesn't differ for me. And he's giving you his reasons.
You know, Alfred might run when I look at him. But it's okay. But it's okay. Now, what I was saying is, yes. Of course, we have, of course, the office of the DPP. Yes. That is the public prosecutions. Mm-hmm. When you want your case to be well done, you take it to private or a law firm. That is an entity established by a person with a name of making profits. But I want to tell you first.
Lawfully established, isn't it?
Yes, of course. They are lawfully established, yes. As well as private universities are lawfully established. Like your company, you might be having a company which is lawfully established and is approved. So what we are saying is, when the government established public institutions, they didn't have a profit-making mind. But when a private entity establishes an alternative, they are bringing in with an interest of making profits. So what we are saying is, we will not be funding, because we are the government, you are the government. Me and you, we form the government. So what we are saying is, my tax will not fund private entity to make profits.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly.
So this is where we are. So this is where we are. Checher, I'll give you that particular opportunity to speak after this break here. But because we only have 2 minutes, don't worry, we still have 1 hour left for this conversation. I want you to hand over the mic to Sheila right there. want us to introduce the next part of our conversation. Yes, gentlemen, you're saying this is really good, and there's this formula that is going to come in place and then decide what money goes where and who's needy and who's not. So this gentleman and lady on the set would like to think that the experience you've had so far on HELP, which is the formula that we're going to use then to disburse this money to the students, has been great. Sheila, has it been great?
For me, I won't say it has been great, because number one, wherever I am, okay, fine, I've benefited, yes. But then look at this, you consider it vulnerability that you are going to get it more, and then they are going to use that formula and then allocate us that loan according to the need you have. But look at this situation whereby all this year, they are saying that they have been using this particular formula. Yes. But then within these years, I've had friends who are from able...
I thought it was you.
No, not me. Yeah. Let me just talk of friends.
Talk about yourself.
Okay, for myself. Okay.
Use your mic. Just 45 seconds, we're going to break.
Okay,
yes.
I've benefited from not fully.
Every
yes,
time
it has been toil. For me to get it, it has been toiling. You know, you've been waiting for something for so long, and then it's not even coming the right way, the right amount. You are toiling to get it. Yes.
Guess what? Once we come back then, there's Chirchir as well, who really want to speak on this particular issue. I can see Jesse as well is burning. Alfred already has the mic. We still have 1 hour for this conversation. There are so many issues that I want us to talk about this morning, but I just want us to get done and dusted with this university funding formula that has been fronted by one President Ruto. And then after that, talk about exactly some of the happenings that the comrades are watching in this government. How are they running the government? We have men in both ties, red and yellow, representing exactly where they are, whether coincidentally or by design, I do not know. Once we come back right here, there's just so much that we gotta weigh in. We're still here with our comrades or Bunge la Wananchi this morning. Once we come back, the Morning Drift continues.
Today we are hosting the Lotto Foundation as they do a food distribution to the community. The community involves people from Huruma. Huruma is where we have the home for the aged. So quite a population from the home are getting the gift packs. Most of our children come from Githogoro and Huruma. These are informal settlements. Honestly, these parents have not been working. The number of children that will come to me, even the ones who are not in school, and tell me, Mwalimu, we have not fed for 3-4 days, is quite huge. So this will go a long way. A family that has not fed for 3 days, they will at least get a meal. We also thank Lotto. This is the second time that you're coming, and it always makes a difference. It always makes a difference.
Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand our business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United Circle. Tuungane pamoja.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt. It's royal coffee yogurt.
with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Yeah, comrades, we are back, by the way. We are back on air. Guys, we're back on air. This is the same energy that I want us to pick, by the way. We are back on air. Thank you very much. You're still watching Lookuptv. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. This is exactly what is going on in the background. And now we are into the final 1 hour of this conversation, and that's exactly the energy that you're going to see pick up now. It is hot fire. Now, let's talk to Churchill. Your argument, you and Jesse, is that, well, whatever the president is trying to do is support public universities. Just by taking more students to public universities, it is not a guarantee that indeed these public universities are going to be stronger. Let's agree. But that's what you're proposing.
Let me say this, the cornerstone of every democracy and of every country is when the public institutions work. The day the public institutions will stop working is the day everything will stop running. This is the reason why.
Yes.
The public doesn't have interest in business,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And when the government is investing on something, it invests with the art of public interest.
Yes.
Now, when the government decides to fund private universities, what does that imply? That now that we are having problems with our public universities, let's now go and because these guys are managing their business so well, let's add some funds to them. It shows that we are in total dismemberment of how things should run. What I'm saying in essence is very simple.
Yes.
When I have a business, and should I be asking the government to fund it? Are you telling us that everybody now, because we are benefiting, should open up a private university so that the government can fund?
How special is university education business? Because the government should actually prompt it up and say, this is special.
Look at other countries.
Yes.
Have you ever had a country in the world funding a private business or any private entity? It's not going to work.
Yes.
If, for example, the judiciary will stop working, right? Are you going to tell me that the government is going to fund private investigators so that they can help the government do investigations? It's not going to work that way. As long as institutions work.
Alfred, I want some help, man. I want some help. Because you can see the fire that's coming from this side. I want some help.
Simba, you know, if you compare public university and private, private normally produce the best and the good one. Absolutely the best.
Sheila is disagreeing.
Look at the media. Just a minute.
Let him clear
Simba, look at the media houses.
Yes.
Most of our journalists are from private institutions in this country. Most of them are from Leicester. I guess you are from there.
Do I declare? Is it time to declare?
The best one.
Is it time to declare?
You can declare.
I can declare.
You can declare.
Secondly, look at
thank you very much.
If you compare our health system, the private one and the public one, private is always above of the public.
Yes.
So the idea of funding the public universities and leaving the private universities is a way of killing private institutions. The government want to kill private entities, and that's the thing.
But I want you to hand over that microphone to Adero. Yes, Alfred. Yes.
Simba.
Yes.
Simba.
Could you clear?
Simba.
Yes.
If you look at this thing, actually, my friends from the other side.
Hold the mic close to you. Yes.
My friends from the other side. Actually, they are making me to feel very bad, because most of the people are vulnerable, and you find that it is COOPs which normally do the placement.
Yes.
And at a time, you will find yourself in a private institution through COOPs. So what they are telling me that now, I will only get a loan, which it's a must that I will pay from my salary. Na hiyo kazi pia iko.
That's it. That's it. Here's the thing, Adero.
We won't allow the government to kill private institutions.
Because I want to ask, just before he speaks, comrades, just before he speaks, I want to ask a general question the majority of Kenyans have been asking. And I want you to be as truthful as you can, just by show of hands. Yes. You tell me that you won't feel okay, that you are in a government where the education sector, and I'm talking about the the higher education sector in this country, is so fluid that today, should you feel that you're going to, let's say, a private university, let's say a public university, that you can actually look at factors of, number one, distance, number two, proximity to what you may want as a student, number three, a certain professor in that particular university, or a certain degree of that course in that university, so that you choose it. And by choosing it, you're pretty sure that indeed the government has your hand. I want to see by show of hands, how many of us would wish to study in whatever place they would want to study? Let me start from this side. Alfred, your hand should be up. I think I point, because I know where you are. Daro's hand is up. Sheila, in whatever university that you want to get to in this country. As long as you have the ability is just that you've qualified. Is that you've qualified. So hold on. No, hold on. The question I'm asking is that, would you feel okay today to go to whatever university you feel like in this country?
Of course, I'm feeling okay.
Also, Sheila, you don't agree. That's it. Everybody from this side agrees. Do you guys agree from this side as well? Yes. That's it. So my question then, Adaro, comes in this point.
Yes.
Why are we not agreeing that university business in this country is special business? It's like, number one, health. Yes. And the government has given it that sort of outlook that is special business. And that's why we have to ratify the sector, so that should Alfred today decide to go to Daystar University or USIU or whatever university he wants to, or MKU or Kenyatta University or Nairobi University, he has the choice to do that. That is the question that we're asking. Yes. But Chilcher and Jesse and Fred are saying, no, we want to go to public universities because we are supporting this country. That's what you're saying. Adero, would you pick that conversation?
Allow me to correct my friend
Yes.
The example that he gave out is null and void in this context.
Yes.
That example. And also allow me to correct my friend Alfred. Yesterday you heard about it is only UN which appeared in the top 2,000.
Yeah, universities across the world.
So
yes.
you can't say that the best universities are only private universities. Thank you. And also your argument, you saying that these private universities are producing the quality, so they want to moderate them so that the so-called public university can now gain the energy, because most students have realized that the private universities are producing the best quality education. Now they want to run there.
Yes.
Now tell me, did you have any private university among the shortlisted university that was released yesterday? No. So I think that should not be the case. What I wanted to say is that when the government withdraws its support from private university,
yes,
it is a mere comrade ndiataumia. For example, the tuition fee will increase because the university need to carry its activities as normal. Mm-hmm. So when the tuition fee increases, it affects a normal comrade directly. Then secondly, about the issue of help. If I can talk about issue of help now, the funding individual,
yes,
right?
Mm-hmm. Funding
individual, comrade individual. I want to say this: the criteria now, like for example, somebody tells you, I'm always giving you, I'm always giving you 20 bob weekly. Then there's a 1 week that passes without me giving you this 20.
Yes.
Then one day you just come out and say, no, what we are going to do, we are going to double. I'm going to double for you that 20, and you are not capable of paying for me that 20 before.
Yes.
Now you are saying you are going to give me 40. Now the government says they want to double the money that comrades are receiving. I think that's not the clear way to solve these issues.
Pretty much. I want you to hand over that mic to Sheila first, and then Mani, and then I'll cross over this side immediately. Sheila, you can't raise up your hand and say, oh, wow, Celine. Oof, that's how hard it is. You can't raise up your hand and say, I would like to go to whatever university I want to in this country. And then you turn back around and say, do not fund private universities. It's a contradiction in itself. Because then I would like to think that we can sit somewhere and say, it's okay we're in a country where the only thing that works is the public sector. The rest of them do not go there.
Why I raised my hand to say I would want to go to any university that I choose is because it will be at the point of, am I able to go to that university that I want? Then I look back and I see, well, I am vulnerable. I can't. So I have to now adjust. I have to adjust because it is a matter of, is it possible? If it is possible, I'll go.
That's there then.
If it is possible.
Why is it not possible?
Because it's not possible. I can't. I am vulnerable.
The first, hold on.
I can't go to that university I want.
Let's get this understanding, isn't it? That you want to go to a certain university. There are pretty much proper reasons as why you want to go there, isn't it? Yes. Then you turn around and say, it's not possible. In a functional government that should give you the right to choose, the ability to learn, that's a bigger block in a government. Shouldn't you then be faulting the government and asking them, I wanted to go to that university because of A, B, C, D, but because of you, I am not able. That's the question that we're asking in this formula.
But I'll ask, what kind of, if I wanted to go to a public university, then I am okay. I have gone to a public university. But if I chose to go to a private university.
Sheila, at this point, I want to ask you this question. Let's declare. What is your current university?
I'm in the Technical University
Technical University of Kenya. Yeah. Beautiful university. Now, the bombshell is coming. Now, I want her to respond to this. Sheila, are we going to sit here, and I dare ask that question, are we going to sit here and pretend that given a choice of the top universities in this country, I do not know where TUK is.
You should know.
Let me ask that question. Mani, let me ask that question. Mani, let me ask the question. Mani, you want to tell me that even if they're not top, in case a private university ranked top in terms of the course offering that you're doing, that you would have loved to go there?
I would have loved to go there. But
that's the question then, Sheila. What are we talking about there?
I have said I would have.
Yes.
But also remember, a university being ranked top, or I would say maybe a school.
Yes.
How many high school students from day school have been ranked to have gotten an A? That's a day school, a high school day school, okay? And a student got an A, and it's a public school. Does it mean that now from that context, you wouldn't stay in that day school because it's a public school? Personally, I feel it's that student. It's the student's ability. Or how good is the student?
Mani, take the microphone. I'll be coming to this side, by the way. I know, Fred, you want to speak? Jesse, you want to speak? I'm coming over. Mani, take the microphone and do not fight me. I just want to get the points from you, Mani.
I protected you.
Yes.
I protected you when you were asked. When you were asked, which university are you coming from? But now, I think I should now go ahead and force you to declare. Because it doesn't mean that, of course, it doesn't mean we did have an option. Personally, I was given all those options to join the university of my choice. And I joined the best of my choice. That was Technical University of Kenya, to do electrical and electronics engineering. Do you want to tell me that I got there to support the government? I got there to support myself.
But that's what you're saying then. If you go there to support yourself,
yes,
then why are you making the case of the government should actually support public university students more than they are supporting private university students if you got there to support yourself? That's the question that ALFRED and Adera are asking
I want to clarify. Maybe, you see, ALFRED, he has been on most occasions.
Yes.
Taken this thing out of context. No, what I was saying is, what I was saying is, it doesn't mean when I say
yes,
government sponsors its institutions, doesn't mean that it sponsors the students. What I'm saying is, government let it support its institutions to execute the mandate that made them have a vision of having such an institution. And also, let private institutions be supported by their sponsors and the establishers to realize the dream that they had.
Pretty much. Just before, in fact, let me start with Fred. Fred, because the question is coming out clearly now, that it is not a question of the student, it is a question of you trying to make sense of this model that the government is fronting to you. If I'm going to pay a loan to be in a private university, and the government is not saying, no, I'm not going to give you that money. It's saying, well, get the loan, start paying it back. That's exactly what they're saying. But then there seems to be a consensus that indeed we should support public universities. But then, Fred, why are we pretending that sending more students to public universities is essentially supporting public universities when the quality of education, you yourself is a man who goes to a class of only 40 students and you know exactly what that translates to the quality of education? Well, there's a public university somewhere, and I don't want to say which one because we do know that. We've done stories of those universities where one class has over 300 students. Talk to me about that. If you're improving the quality of education in this country, then the consensus then should be support private universities in as much as you want to support public universities, or then create more public universities.
When I said my course accommodate only 40, you know, there is a factor. Let me explain. Let me explain.
Yes.
And it happen across in all the universities. Yes. Like for example, in MKU, they offer pharmacy. So according to what the facility they have, they can accommodate, let's say, 100 students. And that is their capacity. And that's what I meant. Our capacity as my course, it supports 40 students. And you see, like, I can give you one statistic, MKU. In pharmacy, they normally declare around, they have a capacity of around 160 students.
Yes.
And they only declare to KUSO only 20.
Thank you.
You see, only 20. And the other university like the Strathmore, which normally they rejected students from the Joint Admission Board. And most of the private university have been complaining.
Yes.
They are helping the government to support students which they have been given.
Yes.
So if the government now decides to yes, you have said it's like we are the ones supporting you. So let's take our students. Is there any problem?
Exactly, there's no problem.
Because they say we build our own infrastructure using our own money. You don't build our own infrastructure. You take students here. You see, and the government decided now, yes, enough is enough. Let's take our students.
Pretty much.
Where is the problem?
Could you hand the microphone? Could you hand the microphone to Jesse? Churchill, you're next in that conversation. Just say, this is the point. That indeed, what we didn't then get from the president, and those are the questions that the likes of ALFRED and Adera are saying, is the complete picture in why all of a sudden we have this change in the university funding formula. Did he present you comrades to know exactly what's going on in the economy? The country is broke. That is, according to him, and the president keeps on saying that we are broke, we need to live within our means. And if you look at university funding, if you look at university education, education funding, in every financial year, they get the chunk of the money. Let's begin from there. So if indeed you're going to cut back on expenditure, or what essentially is calling unnecessary expenditure, you would say, cut back university funding, but present it in a way that you're essentially not cutting it back. You're saying all those grants that are going to universities have stopped, all right? Now we want to give this money to students. Are we going to pretend here and say that we didn't read headlines about how university admissions have dropped in 2023? So even when we're saying that indeed we're going to increase funding to these universities, majority of those who've been earmarked for funding are not going to be funded. So that budget essentially might be lower. And you see, why are we pretending then that indeed the best way to support public universities in this country is to make sure that more students prefer public universities because of one reason: funding? That won't be a correct reason. That the only reason we're going here is because tutapatiwa pesa.
Well, in the contrary, Simba.
Yes.
And I'll begin by answering the question that you asked about what I would have wanted.
Yes.
Well, if you ask me that question, I will tell you that I would have wanted to study in Harvard. Is it realistic?
Thank you.
I'll take you step by step.
Is it realistic?
Apart from that,
would you be happy if it was made a reality?
Well,
yes. Yes.
But is it realistic?
No, but won't you be happy if it was made a reality?
But whose responsibility is it to make it a reality? Yes. Is it the government's responsibility? It's not.
Education is your right.
So
just say education is your right.
Education is my right.
That's it.
And I will say this.
So you should question your government. That's why why I want to go to Harvard. Why are you not making it a reality?
I will say this. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The government is sponsoring a lot of people, millions of people, if you count over the years. So if we are to choose, like what he said, there was a list that came out. There was a university that was listed.
Yes.
If you are to ask high school student, which university do you want to go? Chances are very high, based on that list, 99% will say they want to go to that list. Mm-hmm. And that is why CUBS come in, to distribute evenly the numbers, to ensure that even if you want, all of you want to go to this university,
yes,
even if all of you want to pursue this course, it is unrealistic to do that. It is not possible. We cannot, as a country, all of us be lawyers. We cannot, as a country, all of us be doctors. We cannot, as a country, all of us study engineering. That is why these bodies are there, to ensure that there is equal distribution of resources. So the question of the government and funding universities, what we are going to do is to approach this in a systematic manner. People are going to be educated. People are going to be told that if you choose to go to a public university, you will get full funding, yes, or partial funding.
Yes.
If you choose to go to a private university, you will get a loan. So it will be up to you to make your decision based on the information that you have. Because if you don't have information, chances are very high you will make an uninformed decision.
Pretty much. Chilcher, I want you to weigh in on this then as we clear this conversation for university funding. Alfred, I think you have to start transferring from your private university. I think you can see exactly where the conversation point is. I'll be coming back to you. Yeah? Chilcher, yes.
ALFRED is in the public university. No.
We're becoming. Well, we're coming to him on this. Chilcher, just in 1 minute, sir. Are we at a consensus? Because this model, again, left something out. Quality.
Let me begin by saying that when public institutions thrive,
yes,
private institutions thrive.
You kept on saying that.
But when private institutions thrive,
yes,
public institutions die. And I've stood by that from before. Just imagine if Oxford University in the UK or Harvard University in the UK was not protected well, what could have happened to those universities? You saw the other day, University of Nairobi dropped in number from a certain position and went down by almost 20%.
Yes.
This is the reason why. Because we have not been protecting our public institutions so well. And let me say this, it is all about living by your means,
Yes.
okay? Let's say you are working and making about 30K a month. Now that you want to live in a 6-bedroom, are you going to go to 6-bedroom just because you want it? No, you will continue living in your bedsitter, though your dream is going to that where you really want to be.
Yes.
You will survive according to your means. You will not survive according to what you want. It's not about always what we want. It's about what we can afford. And that is exactly what we are driving here.
Mr. Vino.
Thank you.
I want you to clear on this as well, because I want us to jump into the next part of our conversation this morning. Do you agree with the presentations of Chilcher that indeed, if you can't afford private university, do not go there, so go to a public university?
Let me make point clear.
Yes.
I'm in a private university.
Yes.
But again,
Yes.
I am protected.
Can you?
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Simba. For me, really, I want you guys to agree with me. I'm a responsibility of the government because I'm in this country.
The best thing that has been said right here, gentlemen, you will agree with that. Mani, I don't know what your response is going to be, that you guys are the responsibility of the government. Done.
Yes, I'm a responsibility of the government. Okay, let me expound a little bit. If the government is telling me that the public university is the right place for me because I'm vulnerable, I go there and we are over 400 students in anatomy lab with only 3 cadavers, then really it's not going to work out. If they are going to, then if they think I'm their responsibility, the only thing they can do for me is that, Sheila, we can take you to another place. Yes.
Hold on, Mani, hold on. She's going to clear. Hold on, Mani. Mani, I don't think you have a comeback in this. I don't know what your comeback is going to be. I don't know what your comeback is going to be. She's actually here saying that we are 400 in an anatomy lab.
Simba,
how's that? Just quickly, just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute, I'll use 1 minute.
Please. Yes.
And, well...
Jesse, hold on. What is your comeback going to be? Come on.
Let me say this. First, what the government has done is what we recommended to the government during the public forum. We had a forum during the campaigns, and we met the president and told him,
ALFRED, your
this is what we want. Now,
I mean, your problem your problem is right there.
Simba, I will speak about this.
Just hold on.
I will speak about this, and I will speak about it passionately, because we are the responsibility of the government.
Yes.
And as such, the government should arrange itself for us to fit in its plans, not for the government to fit in our plans. A good example is, a good example.
By the way, hold on.
Before that,
I want us to go for break. I want us to go for a tiny break.
1 minute.
You're gonna come back. You're gonna come back with it. Hold your mic. We have 30 minutes left for this discussion. We're gonna come back on it. I do not know, because ALFRED has finally found his problem right here in the studio. I don't know what his comeback is going to be. Mani is here fighting, and Dero is over the other side saying, well, you guys recommended that. Sheila is here saying, I don't understand how the government will tell me that the best option for you is a public university when we have 400 of us in an anatomy lab sharing 3 devices. How? Once we come back here on the morning drift, it's been a hot morning this morning. Once we come back, we pick the final sentiments of Jesse. Then after that, I clear this conversation with what the comrades think about how the government is running currently once we come back.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand a business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United SACCO. Tuungane pamoja.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dark Balance, we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dark Balance. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dark Balance. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt. It's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
All right. Let's then get into the final part of our conversation this morning. And if in case you're just joining us, it's been a hot session right here on the Morning Drift. After this, I'm going to catch breakfast again because I had just had breakfast. We're fighting with Jesse. We're fighting with Alfred. Alfred has got the problem. So apparently, there's recommendations that the president is presenting here in this particular funding formula were presented some time back. Yes, sir.
Simba, my good friend Sheila here spoke about the government and that we are the interest of the government.
Yes.
And I agree fully. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the smallest unit of the government, it is the family. Now, in my family, when I go there, I will find they are serving githeri for lunch. Yes. I want pizza.
Yes, are you serious?
Will I force my father to serve me pizza? I cannot. In my family, my room is a madhouse, the one that my father has constructed for me. This is just an example.
You want a bungalow?
I want a bungalow.
Are you serious?
Will I bully my father to make that for me? Will I go and say I am living in this 4-star hotel and my dad to pay for that? No. Not possible. So let us be realistic. What the government is doing is saying, this is what we are able to deliver for you guys. We cannot again go and bully the government and say that we want a lot. The government is serving hundreds and hundreds of people. So what I want us to do is, let us agree, let us understand, and let us fall in line. If we want to go to private universities, go to private universities, apply for a government loan, and benefit from that.
Pretty much, Sheila, for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to give you a right to response. Then after that, I'm going to go to Alfred and Nero because you guys now, you've seen exactly where your fight point is, isn't it? It's right here. Manny, I'm going to come back to you because you're saying that we're deflecting, but I do not think that we are. We are right within the conversation point of understanding. At what point does the responsibility to you as a government stop? All right, Sheila, what is said, you can't force your father to put in a bungalow if whatever he can afford is a madhouse.
Yes. Okay, really, I'm really trying to understand a point here. whereby the government is offering me a public institution, education,
yes,
of which the quality is low, of course we know. But then I don't pretty understand why if the government, if I go to a public university,
yes,
I'm vulnerable,
yes,
I can pay a certain amount and then I get a scholarship from the government. What's the problem if they take me to that private university, you get, and just pay the same amount they were paying in the public school? The same, the other side. What's the problem?
Jesse, why did you not make that recommendation to that sitting that you guys came up with and say there's no problem, just pay the same? Assume that I've gone to a public university. Assume that I've gone to a public university, Jesse.
Well, what we said is we want our private universities to be strengthened. We want our public universities to have students, because public universities
they do not have students. There are 400 in the anatomy class.
Others were shutting down courses.
Can't say that. Can't say that. But she's a student in that. She's a student in that. She's a student. Chicha, hold on your mic. Hold on your mic. Hold on to your mic. I'm going to come back to you. Alfred, there's something that is coming up here. Sheila is saying, listen, fine. I just assume that I've gone to a public university. Give me the same amount of funding that you would have given me. Then let me continue with my education.
Absolutely, and I can see my brother Jesse Saruni, the caller is getting hot. I would like to request him just remain cool. Yes, just lose your tie. Simba, actually, I agree with my sister Sheila.
Yes.
Actually, we are facing a problem, and the problem is the team,
yes,
which went there and submitted the report, the recommendations, that this what the students are requesting for. And the problem is Jesse Saruni and his team.
Adero?
Yes.
Adero,
we are not forming our team.
Yes. Adero, take the mic. Alfred.
Yes.
Can you hand that mic to Adero this morning?
Senior, I thought the government was the problem. Saruni was the biggest problem.
Yes, just hold on, Churcher. I want him to jump in. Yes.
Simba,
yes.
We now understand how our government works. And I don't need to lecture you on this. So during the campaign time,
yes,
you were telling us, you were bringing it to us here. We met with Mr. President during your campaign. Mr. President wanted to tell you things that you want to hear. Then you wanted to tell, that was called political interest. Because he wanted you, Saruni, to vote for him. Are you getting me? Then now, those promises during the public campaigns, you are bringing them here. How many promises did they promise they have not fulfilled?
Let's not go to
listen.
Yes, Adero, Adero.
No, not promises.
Yes,
what I'm trying to bring is the recommendation that Saruni is saying. Nini. Then another problem, we have problems, but another problem that we are having again, we don't have the solutions to solve these problems.
Yes.
My sister here have said that the problems we are having, we don't anatomy lab, we are very congested, and that's why we have private entities. So that is the So what you should request the government to do is to add more public universities if they want to do away with private universities.
Churchill. Yes. Adero, hold on. Money by the you're next. Money by the you're next on this. Simba. In a minute.
Simba. Just a minute.
Yes.
You see the government, currently, they will not, even if they had public university to accommodate more students who will come from private universities, they won't, because look at even the services they are providing. Very poor services.
That's it, Churchill. Please, just respond to that. Yes, Churchill. Yes.
That is why I want to respond to that. You know, the problem we are facing is because the funds that have been...
Churchill, are you in a private university?
I am in a private university, but I'm supporting the empowerment of public institutions. Because as I said, if the public institutions are not working, the private institutions tend to work in the cost of private institutions. And let me answer what Sheila said. The money that we have been taking to private universities, we could have used to improve our public universities, so that next time Sheila will have more cadavers in the lab. We have been giving private people to make benefits while we are struggling, so that we do not have enough devices. So by increasing funds to private universities, what does that mean? it means that Sheila will not be missing the cadavers anymore. It means that we are going to improve our infrastructure in those universities. Because if you check out, most of the universities which are public have a very huge tracts of land, but they do not have infrastructure. Because we have been giving these guys to make profit and go to Maldives.
I want you to hand the mic to Fred. But Fred, just hold on. Money, here's the conversation point, that we're here championing for private universities, but then the question of quality is going to come in. We're going to sit here and pretend that just because 1,000 students are now going to increase in a particular course in a certain university, that all of a sudden these universities will have the ability to actually offer quality education to these universities. She's right here. She's telling you we are 400 in a class where we're sharing 3 devices in an anatomy lab. Why are you closing your eyes to the idea that, and she put it quite cleanly, government, I am your responsibility. And in a country, we need to think that you want to ratify the education sector to the point that it offers quality. Where you feel it's missing, let's find it somewhere else. Let's get a balance and equilibrium. Then she said, give me that money that you would have given me to go to a public university. I would go fill up in a private university, because in one way or another, I'm also helping you solve a problem. Congestion, quality. Now respond, Money.
Simba,
yes.
I told you earlier that there are those things that we want. There are those things that we can afford.
Come on, Money. It is not what we want versus what we can afford. She's saying she's not comfortable in a class of 400 in anatomy class. So it's not about what she wants. Would you be happy for her to come out of that class?
Simba, unless you are
to a class of 40. This gentleman is in a class of 40. Yes. Money.
Simba,
this gentleman is a class of 40.
Simba, remember,
yes.
We are not all of us from the medicine school. I am from an engineering school.
Does it?
And we have enough resources.
How many are you in your
class?
class?
What is the problem?
How many are you in your course?
In my course?
Yes.
We are 65.
65?
Yes. And we have all the equipment that we need.
What?
Versus what?
400.
How many courses? How many branches do you have?
Yes.
You have 400.
Give her the mic. Give her the mic.
You have 400 from medicine class, and then anatomy lab is 1. So you have to be combined with a dental class. A dental class maybe have 100. So you have 500.
The problem is the university.
That's it.
No, you have 500.
Fine. But hold on.
Let them work with whatever is there.
You can't blame the university. It's a public university, and it's gonna get worse.
You know, Simba,
money.
Let us be genuine.
Yes,
let us be genuine.
Yes.
Let us be genuine. Simba,
let
us be genuine.
Money, hold on. Money, hold on.
Allow us to be genuine.
Money, hold on. Money. Fred, listen. Sheila, hold on. You want to sit here and pretend that that's not a cause for concern, and you think it's going to get, and you think it's going to get better. Now that majority of the admissions then are going to go to public universities.
That's why the new model, it was designed to address specific need of specific course. You know, they used to combine education, either you are doing engineering, it is the same amount of funding.
Yes.
So in this model,
yes,
that's why they declare each university to give the cost of each course. You see, like we can see the medicine is, I think it is the highest funded.
Yes.
And you can see like in University of Nairobi, it is around 600.
Yes.
And 50,000. So if you see, we admit new students, and each student is supported with that amount, as compared to the previous, which they used to give around 40,000.
Yes.
You see, they will have that capacity to buy new equipment and improve their services. That's why the model addressed specific needs of specific students according to their courses.
Yes.
That's why once you are selected, you apply, and then you are given money according to your
That's it.
Yeah.
But you see, what you're not responding to, and what Mani is also doesn't want to address, is that just hold on, Churchill.
Yeah.
You said then this funding that would have gone to these private students then would go to these public universities, so we can start to address those particular issues. But then, Churchill, the question that you guys are not responding to, Sheila as well, is look here, that particular model. There is one factor that it didn't also take into consideration now, that Mukua, what you're saying is that this is exactly how it was used. But then, where are the rest of them going to go? Because now, this particular model, as from this financial year, the next financial year, is going to attract more to that. Yes, you say that each particular university in the country essentially says the cost of our courses, and this is the number of students that we have already approved for these courses, and this is exactly how much we need. That is the same situation that we're talking about here, that indeed it's going to attract more now because they've got nowhere to take these students.
You see, the issue of which I need to address, it is the problem start from accreditation.
Yes.
Once the way they do accreditation, the Commission for University of Education, they normally look if you have all the facilities.
Pretty much.
But when it comes down to the university, they overpopulate.
Yes.
So this is a problem that goes to a faculty, not the university.
Pretty much.
So it is the management that overpopulate. And you see, so it is not the problem of the government. It is the problem that is supposed to be solved by the school.
Thank you so much.
The same way,
I think
the same way,
we are underutilizing the
same way,
Fred
can
is bringing in a very good perspective
Let him clear this
of managerial.
Yes. Amani, let me clear this point.
Example is Moi University.
Yes.
You see, they have large number of students. So you find sometime you are forced to go for an holiday for a whole year, just to let those in front of you to clear so that you can get a space. That is the problem of the management.
Pretty much. Let's ladies and gentlemen, we only have 4 minutes left for this conversation. I can't believe that we've rushed through hours and wow, it's 9:25. Here's the thing. Mani, your final submission on this, just 15 seconds, and then after that we get done with the conversation. I'll come over this other side as well.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
The discussion has been well, and I want to agree with most of us that we are the responsibility of the government, and the government should facilitate the institutions that provide or facilitate us in their institutions, which they have built structures that can support us get the quality we need from the institutions. Again, when private sector come in, private sectors come in, let them be prepared to fund their institutions to the fullest to achieve its vision and to the general public. Let's cut our cord according to our sizes. Let's not wish to eat kafagara ugali when we can only afford umi.
Pretty much.
Let's work within our means. Let's not wish, because if wishes were horses, then beggars could be riding.
Yes.
So let's be genuine.
Let's be genuine. Celine, clear this conversation, 15 seconds. Where are you in this conversation?
Personally, I feel that for private institutions, they remain private as they term themselves. Let them provide the best for those who are able to join the private institutions. Let them join them, knowing what they are supposed to, what it entails. Cut your coat according to your size.
That's it. All right, Alfred, the gentleman who gave you these proposals right here, may you have a word with them? 15 seconds as we clear.
Thank you very much, Simba. I would like to say that we are going to have the public university are going to be overpopulated if the government do away with the funding from the private universities. And I think the government won't be able to provide the best services for these students. and actually it's going to drag many students. So let them think otherwise.
That's it. I don't know. I want to give you that opportunity to ask that question and then give us the final submission, please.
My questions to Kenyans and the entire comrade at large is that I don't know, I'm the one who's not following news, but when I heard Mr. President Mr. President said they are going to do away with funding private university. But he didn't say that when we do away with funding private university, now that money we are going to carry it to public university. So that's just your idea, and I respect it, Bwana Chirchir. Now my last submission is that when I would like to request the government to continue funding public university.
Yes.
And when there is, because of course we have insufficiency in the public.
Yes.
So when there is a private body which has come and want to help the government to carry out its services, let the government support it also.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. We have 2 minutes. Fred, actually, 10 seconds. Final submission on this model for university funding.
Personally, any new idea has both shortcoming and advantages.
Yes.
So when the advantages outweigh the shortcoming, you adapt it. So it is a good way and a good move for the government to protect the public university, which are at a verge of collapsing. Or actually, they are all almost in the ICU.
Yes.
So it is a good move.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
All right. Sheila, clear this. 15 seconds, please.
Okay, the new model that has been presented to us for me is, I can consider it an hypothesis.
Yes.
And it needs to be tested, and for it to qualify, you are saying that it's like a cure. So you can't tell me to buy a cow that is sick, that you're gonna cure it for me. Give me the cured cow, it will be good. Tell me this university, this is the services, it's good, yes.
Pretty much. Chirchir, 15 seconds, please.
My point is still the same. When public institutions thrive, private institutions thrive too. But when private institutions thrive on the cost of public institutions, that is doomsday. Thank you.
That's it. Jesse, 15 seconds as we clear.
Thank you. What I will say is that the issue of congestion was basically due to offering the government funding, issuing a blanket figure, regardless of the cost that is being issued. But right now the government is moving away from that and funding courses based on their cost implications. And the other thing is that we gave the government recommendation, and one of the things is that HELB, when someone applies for a loan, they need to repay once they attain a certain figure, around a salary of around 39,000. After you attain that, you're able to start paying. But what the government is doing is acting responsibly, and I want to just say that I'm proud that the government is taking the bold steps.
Pretty much. Oof. Guess what? That's it. Guys, I've got nothing more to say. I'm out of energy. I'm out of ideas. Money's fought me. Jesse's fighting. Guess what? I'll call them back again so we can actually get to weigh in on other issues that we didn't get to touch on it. Guess what? It has been quite a refreshing session right here on Lookuptv. Take them back to the time that you joined us right here on Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. That is at Lookuptv. I am at Kiage Simba. The hashtag is the Money Drift. Let that conversation go online. Good morning and goodbye. See you tomorrow for another session.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to info@lookuptv.co.ke.